So who the hell am I talking to this time? Good. You haven't been fired. I was afraid I'd have to explain this goddamn case all over again. I went back to where Connie said she took the photo in the desert. You remember, right? Where she said this, flying saucer supposedly landed. I didn't find a flying saucer or any aliens breathing their last wheezy breaths or anything like that. But I did find something else. You could say that. You could definitely say that. I found stones. A bunch of stones lying there on the surface of the sand. I'm no geologist, but they look funny to me. Like they'd been moved. Put there for a reason, you know? So, I call it in. Because I'm sure as hell not gonna dig myself, Tanner. Not in this suit. A team arrives an hour later, and they start digging. Sure enough, under one of the stones, they find a body. Advanced state of decomp. They dig under another stone. And lo and behold, this time they find an entire skeleton. Turns out, we're standing on some sort of desert graveyard. Hard to say, but I counted more than 100 stones. If they're all grave markers, well, I'll let you do the math. Yeah, messed up, right? And judging by the size of the skeleton, it belonged to someone young, Tanner. Real young. Look, I won't beat around the bush. The medical examiner has finished a preliminary report on the skeleton, and they found what they believe is a photo of the victim in the sand, buried there by the bones. Never seen that before. Any chance you can take a look at all this and get me an ID, Tanner? Let me send you the files. Well, it's taken a while. Hard to access the satellite out here in Roswell. Dryfield. Okay. Looks like it went through. About goddamn time.
The skeleton appears to be female, estimated at 9 years of age. Starting the examination now. Initial observations show well-preserved and intact bones. No visible signs of trauma or damage. The subject is missing her left incisor. The rest of the dentition looks good. No decay or disease is present. Moving on. Here's something interesting. One of the metacarpal bones on her left hand, the metacarpal 3, has a slight curvature. You don't see that a lot. So, to summarize, the subject appears to have been a female, approximately 9 years of age, with a missing left incisor tooth and a slight curvature in the metacarpal 3 in her left hand. Based on the level of decomposition, the body appears to have been buried for approximately 6 to 8 months. Further testing and analysis is needed to determine the cause of death.
did you find this, Tanner? Just when you think this case can't get any weirder, that's exactly what it does. But I need concrete proof it's her. Got anything else in your bag of tricks? I'll be damned. 9 years old, Tanner. Breaks your goddamn heart. What the hell is going on out here? And what's a connection to Connie? Okay, the examiner has just finished processing the second body I was telling you about. The one in the advanced state of decay. Let's see here. Adult male, early 60s. Ah, they got an ID on him. Quentin Spence. Want to see if that name is on your magical list too? So there's definitely a link. I see some of the names have been crossed out. Can you figure out what that business means? has to be about 100 names like that. That number matches the stones. God damn. And if I was a gambling man, I'd say the circled persons are still alive. Like Arcane. There's something else about Spence, Tanner. They found him buried in a lab coat with some, you're never gonna guess, floppy disk sewn into one of the pockets. Remember what I said about this case getting weirder and weirder? Now the second disk password protected. Open that second floppy disk and give me an address tied to Spence. Something I can look into. I'm getting a little restless with you doing all the work. The operator program. Oh, I'm sending everything your way. There you go.
Autopsy report of a male, approximately late 50s, early 60s. Initial observations show no sign of trauma or blunt force injury, similar to the first remains found. The decedent appears to be wearing some kind of lab coat. Starting the external examination now. Excellent dentition. The decedent is wearing some kind of badge. Let me put this to the side. Abdomen seems healthy, with no signs of trauma or injuries. The lab coat seems to contain a hidden pocket. There's something inside. It's sewn shut. I'll open this with my scalpel. There. There appear to be 2 floppy disks inside the pocket. Strange. In my estimate, the body has been buried for approximately 2 to 3 months, based on the level of decomposition. At this point, the cause of death is uncertain. Further testing and analysis is needed, including toxicology reports, before I can provide a conclusive determination.
The symbols and file names written on the second floppy disk look to be there for a reason, Tanner. I suggest checking those 2 files for clues about the password. Focusing on the symbols. Maybe keep those 2 files open and see if you can do something with them.
Go to your operator head, but that was actually somewhat impressive, Tanner. The address you sent, it's not far from here. I'll check it out first thing in the morning. Tonight, I think I'll help the team exhume the rest of these bodies. Screw the suit. God help us, Tanner. God help every single one of us.
Something about it. He's poking around, asking too many questions. He's going to expose us all if you don't rein him in. Yes, his shift is over. Yes. All right. Yeah, fine. We'll talk later. Bye.
Morning, Evan. Look, about yesterday, this business with the coal files. Sorry if I came down on you a little hard, buddy. It's just that I know you have what it takes to rise in this place, Evan. Become a supervisor. Hell, maybe even replace me one day. But I can't protect you if you start poking around in the wrong places. Okay? Thanks. Guess the FDI has got me wound a little tight these days. Well, I'd better get back to it. You have a good one. All right? Again, I can't tell you how happy I am to have you here at the operator program, Evan. That way, I can keep a close eye on you, can't I? Let's grab a beer later this week, all right? Once everything calms down in the madhouse. Oh, right. Well, you know my wife, Evan. She's not exactly a social butterfly, is she? Bye, pal.
Operator Tanner, that you? Tanner, did you give that address out to anybody? Well, somebody beat me to the facility, Tanner. The BioM facility burned down last night, Tanner. Up in flames. And if you didn't give the address out, someone else did. Looks like we got ourselves a mole. Goddamn operator program. I'm not a goddamn mole. Well, an investigative team came before me and logged the remaining evidence back at the department. But I can't access it directly. I'll have to go through the operator program. Heaven on earth, Tanner. Heaven on earth. From what I can tell, there should be some security footage there that should shed some light on what happened here. Hopefully, it won't be too hard to prove this was arson. Yeah, that's not a box of wine, is it? Can you get an ID on this guy? That would have been too easy, huh? I'd like to get in the facility. Yeah, take a look around. Good Lord willing, the roof won't collapse on me. But I need a code for the door. You see where I'm going with this, Tanner? Oh, operator, would you please, pretty please, give me the code for the goddamn door? Yeah, that's fishy, isn't it? So fishy, it goddamn stinks. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the team members. But from what I can tell, the order came from higher up. Let me see if this works. All right, I'm in. Damn it! Something useful. Something that the investigative team left behind. Sure as hell won't be easy. Because this place is just about burnt to a crisp. I don't know what went on here. But if you ask me, it's a pretty elaborate security system for a medical facility. While I look around, maybe you could dig more into our little arsonist friend. Anything that you can find, Tanner. I look picky to you? An ID. A link to another case. His favorite flavor of ice cream. Just give me something, all right? Charming fellow. Who's the lead on the other investigation? Ouch. Tough draw for the rook. Hold on. Looks like I found something. What the? You see what I'm seeing, Tanner? Looks like our gal, Connie Moore, was a bio-impatient. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. Passed her polygraph with flying colors. She told us the truth. Her truth, anyway. Contact Skinner to update Pendle on her parking garage killer. I'm sure she'll be thrilled. I'll keep looking around here. The world's biggest ashtray. Tell me if you find out anything new about our pyro head, Tanner. And I'll contact you if I come across something on my charred end over here.